Well, good morning. Good morning. It's Sunday, and I can't believe I am up Pacific time. I actually woke up at 4 a.m., but today, this is Juno, my dog. We're in my Tesla, or should I say our Tesla, because it's a little bit dark to go out hiking yet. It's because we all changed the clocks forward. And today is the last day of my 7-day challenge. Woohoo! So I am so excited. Oh my gosh. Not that I don't like being on with all of you. And hello there, Russ. Good to see you. I'm really proud of all of you, especially if you're on Pacific time right now, because I know it's tough for all of us to wake up early. Well, even Eastern time, because it's a Sunday. You should be, in bed still, enjoying yourself. But yes, I'm in my Tesla. Love my Tesla, and because I have my heater on, and I have the heated seats on, and I don't have the engine going, which is really cool. My other car, which is a Maserati, yes, I would have to have the engine on and everything. It's complete different car than this, and I drive this a lot more than that one, but I am going to roll up the window a little bit here. I had to go to a place where policemen wouldn't come out and try to wonder what the heck I was doing with my lights on here. So anyway, let me get to the subject, since it's my last video. Not that I'm not going to be doing live videos, and Juno is right here. Boy, she likes to stay right next to her mommy. She's all ready to go hiking out there, but it's too dark, Juno, so sorry about that. And just shout out to everyone out there. Thank you so much for all your support. I've had such great feedback. I've done mainly a lot of real estate videos, and then for all of you realtors who aren't in my marketplace, feel free to utilize my ideas. Copy the same video ideas, use the same topics. That is what it's there for. We're all here to help one another out. Just don't do it in my same marketplace, please, in Orange County. And the one topic I want to talk about today, what motivated me to do these live videos 7 days in a row. I do a lot of Facebook live videos, but I don't do them 7 days in a row at 6:30 a.m. even though I do wake up early. I was reading, or actually listening to a book, and it was last weekend, and it was Hal Elrod's book, The Miracle Morning. And it was just, it really got to me. I was at a point where, I was really motivated because we came off of an amazing 2017 year, my team, who really, they worked so hard, and I'm so grateful to have them. And we never had a rest in the fourth quarter, and we normally do have a rest, and I'm sure a lot of you other realtors felt that. Great fourth quarter, and it was just boom, 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 boom. And then I was kind of feeling it a little bit last weekend, and I just thought, gosh, I need something to motivate me. So what happens when I'm feeling a little exhausted, I'm starting to feel a little sorry for myself, and I think we all go through that, where we think, I need, and a lot of times this is very valid. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to pull in and stay in bed. We need to take a day off and just watch Netflix. But my body was telling me to go on a hike and listen to just some really good books. And so one book that I go back to many times is The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. And I probably have listened to it 3 or 4 times. So in his book, he, goes through a lot of statistics, and I'm one who likes to have facts to back things up, but I also go off of instincts and what makes me feel good. So I can go into different meetings and get a lot of input from lots of people, and I could say, okay, I'll get just 20% of what this person says, and I'll agree with that, and I'll agree with 5% of what this person is saying, and I'll agree with 60% of what this person says. So I can still appreciate everyone's viewpoint, but just take a little bit of everything. But Hal Elrod, he went through a major accident and he had to recover from it. And you know, it was really life transforming. You'll find out in his book. So hopefully you'll read it, or you'll listen to it. If you're like me, I believe my automobile is like a university on wheels. Especially if you're in your automobile all the time. I don't have to commute a long way to work, but I commute from appointment to appointment. And I just love having podcasts and books, and there's really no excuse not to be learning and growing all the time. I hear so many times that, oh, I don't have the time, I haven't read a book in years. And I'm like, how could that even be possible? Because nowadays they have audible.com, and then there's all these other services. I remember I belonged to Scribed, that's another one. There's audiobooks.com. So all you have to do is, if you have any kind of a smartphone, even, you know, I have iPhone, but then there's the other types of phones that I used to have, but they all connect to these type of you know, Audible books. So, you know, even while you're dropping off the kids, sure, you want to have that quality time with the kids, but, you know, as soon as you drop them off, just start listening to a book, and you could have it play over your speakers in your automobile. And it doesn't have to be a really intense business book. It could be a book about, you know, how to treat yourself better when you're exhausted and you're giving it all to your kids. You know, those books are so important. So anyway, but I have to stay focused on the subject. I'm gonna really try to be cognizant of what time, because I tend to go over when I don't have a timer, like I've had a timer all this week, but I don't have a timer going off every 2 minutes on this one. So when I was listening to Hal Elrod's book, when I was on the hiking trail, he was just saying, you know, make little mini commitments to get yourself on track. And, you know, one of my commitments that I made, it was like a year and a half ago, was to set that 5 a.m. timer every morning. And Jen, the Miracle Morning, awesome. I'm so glad that you are going to be, you're a member of the 5 a.m. call club. Thanks. Well, I am a member of the 5 a.m. Miracle Club. And I was a member, and I'm going to go back to my subject, but I have to answer it, Jim. There are 5 a.m. clubs everywhere. There's 5 a.m. clubs on the web, and I'm a member of a whole bunch of them. And Jeff Sanders is the author of the 5 a.m. The 5 a.m. Club, and he wrote a couple books, or the 5 a.m. Miracle Morning, or something like that. And I've read his books over and over and over. It's like the 5 a.m. Agent, or the 5 a.m. something. I wish you know, when you do live videos, I'm going to rely on you guys and girls to maybe help me out, if you don't mind. But a lot of you have probably read Jeff Sanders' books, but they're all about the 5 a.m. Miracle Morning, the 5 a.m. Real Estate Agent, and there's some other ones out there. But it's really the 5 a.m. Miracle Morning. I think there's Hal Elrod maybe had expanded his about the real estate agent and the, you know, all these others. But there's so many great areas to go to. And yes, there are 5 a.m. miracle calls out there, and they're for the Pacific time, for Mountain time, for Eastern time. They do not cost you anything to go on them. There's always a speaker on them. And if for some reason you can't find them, text me, because I did get the phone number for the Eastern one, and I got the phone number for the Western one. We did have a really great one for like Orange County area, and then when I tried it recently, it didn't work. So sometimes that speaker may do it for a couple months, and then they may drop out, but there's always going to be someone who takes it over, because this 5 a.m. miracle community has grown so big that there is no way that there isn't a call going on in your area. And they're free. They're absolutely free. So even if you do not get out of bed at 5 a.m. and you're struggling, you can just call into the center and you just listen, put it on speakerphone because they can't hear you anyway, and get motivated, and then make a commitment that once you finish the call, that's when you get out of bed. So, whatever will make you, and what they say in these 5 a.m. miracle, like the 5 a.m. miracle book, it doesn't have to necessarily be 5 a.m. Your 5 a.m. could be at 6 a.m. It's just making commitment that you're going to wake up at a certain time. Because if you just allow yourself to hit the snooze button all the time, that really is the beginning of how your day is going to be. And you may, let one thing go, like let's just say you're a realtor or you're a lender or you're a salesperson in general, and it's really important for you to get your prospecting out, your prospecting in, and for you to stay in touch with your customers, your clients. And you may say, well, it's not so important, tomorrow's another day, I have all these other things on my plate. Well, because you started out your day that way. So I think it's so important to start our days out in the right way, and that is where when that alarm goes off, you already have, like, even if you have to write out 10 things to do, like you have to look at that list, it's like, tape to your mirror. Okay, first thing I do is I start brushing my teeth. And this is what I said, I think on my, I think it was on my first or my second Facebook live video this week. And that was in regards to when you start brushing your teeth, that wakes you up. And it's because of the peppermint or whatever they use inside the toothpaste. Scientific research has shown that increases your endorphins in your brain. So maybe the first thing you do is you start brushing your teeth. And if you have to, and I mean I don't recommend this, but it's okay. Start brushing your teeth, go back to bed, jump in your bed, put the covers over, start brushing your teeth, because you have to get out of bed to rinse out. You're not going to fall back to sleep with toothpaste in your mouth. So, maybe that is the one thing you do. So, okay, you have this warm, cuddly bed, but you just have to get out of bed to brush your teeth. So you do that, go back to bed, be brushing your teeth. Now, one thing, I have the most comfortable bed, and I have what's called BedJet. And I don't know if you've heard of it, but you can get it for both sides of your bed, or you can have it for just one side of your bed, for the whole bed. But I noticed it's really hard to get out of my bed sometimes, because it has these controls, so you can shoot warm air or cool air into your sheets at any time. A lot of hospitals may use this, or veterinarians use it, because it's clean air that is pumped in to your bed. So I like it better than an electric blanket, because, and also if you're with your spouse, one person may get, be on the cold side, and a person may be hot all the time. So they have their own controls, so they could be hot and cold or whatever. So I noticed though that it's harder to wake up when I have the warm setting on, because I'm warm and comfy. So I do not like to have it on warm when I'm about to wake up. So I try to have everything off because it's that much harder. So, maybe you start out with a list and you just have it on your mirror and you say, this is the first thing. I'm just saying from experience what I've had to do, because I'm into lists and I'm into just, okay, if I do this, it's a no-brainer, until it becomes a habit. You almost have to have things down, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, at least for me, until it becomes a habit. Then once it's a habit, I'm in motion. And I'm in motion now. I mean, even, my alarm clock, today it did go off, because it was actually 4 a.m. here instead of 5 a.m. But yesterday and the day before, it did not I woke up before my alarm clock. So, and then you do the second thing, have your clothes laid out. I find that exercise really pumps me up. So whatever kind of exercise it is, get that through. But I did exercise every single day this week, 7 days. So I am up for a little bit of relaxation in the next day. I am not going to exercise, I can tell you that. My body is telling me that. But getting back to Hal Elrod. So what motivated me? He said, give yourself little challenges. So, to make yourself feel really good about yourself. So when I was hiking last week and I was really thinking about, oh my gosh, I need to get energy back. What's gonna get me to really feel pumped up and want to wake up early in the morning again? Because I found myself slipping a little bit. And I think we all go through times like this where we're really up and high and everything, and we've gone through a couple really great quarters, and then we can be a little bit exhausted, or maybe we're not quite as busy and we're just like going, wow, I need to get pumped up again. So I just thought, okay, I'm going to do this challenge just to get myself pumped up where I'm not slipping on my time waking up. And sure enough, I'm really a stickler when it comes to commitments. If I make a commitment to someone, it is golden. I am just true to my word, and I said to everyone, I am going to make a commitment that I'm going to be on Facebook Live at 6:30 a.m. every day, and there was nothing that was going to get in the way. So 7 days, woo-hoo-hoo, even though it is dark outside. And when I'm done with doing this little video, and I'm not going to go on and on, but I'll show you how cool this car is, this Tesla, where I have this moonroof and you could literally see above. It's really neat. And it also, what's really neat is, and my neighbors, I always freak my neighbors out because I get out of my car and it self-parks. So it'll self-park into my garage without me being in the car. And then I could fit my other car in, because I have a lot of stuff in my garage. But I could fit my other car in, but I have to be out of my car, and then it self-parks. And of course it self-drives on the freeway as well. But I always have to have one hand on the bottom of the steering wheel, and or at least have my hand on every couple minutes. So it self-drives on the freeway. At times it does freak me out a little bit, especially when I'm making a right-hand turn or a left-hand turn, because it can be a little jerky at times. So it's not approved for self-driving in the city yet. So right now I'm kind of I'm open to questions. If you have any questions out there, I know a lot of you do not ask me questions because I think you're afraid I'm going to put you on the spot. At least my staff told me that. My team told me that they have joined me on Facebook Live, but they're so afraid that I'm going to put them on live. And I can't put you on live unless you ask me to put you on live. I have to, oh, hey Juno, come over here. Look, say hi to everyone. So this is my dog Juno, and she's a sweetheart. And I usually don't have my dog on video all the time, but she's a real sweetheart. She's really wanting to go out walking, and she's really good on camera, actually better than I am. But no, and are there any really great books that you recommend? I mean, one of the things that I want to do in future Facebook Live videos, and I just downloaded this incredible program, but I have to use it from my computer. I can't use it from my iPhone, and I'm a huge iPhone person. I literally look at my emails, I look at my MLS stuff, everything's from my iPhone. And I, because I'm just not as much of a computer person, but what I'm going to do is I'll do some Facebook Live videos where I'm going to start splitting the screens. I'm going to ask for a lot of you top producers out there, and if you're willing to do this, if you want to, because we can include your Facebook Live people in it too, where we could have a list of questions and we could interview each other. Like, hey, and it doesn't have to be just realtors. It could be people that everyone can gain knowledge from. I mean, there are so many people. It doesn't matter what level you are. I believe we can learn something from everyone. I have learned the most incredible stuff from just people when I'm hiking on the trail, and I start hiking with them, and I just ask them, hey, what's one of the greatest books you've ever read? Just some kind of ordinary questions, but you learn a lot about people, and how long have you lived in this area, and then they start going into these fascinating stories. So maybe we just limit it to 5 questions, and then we ask each other these questions, or I just ask you. I really don't need you to know more about me, but I would love, if anyone's open to having me interview you and maybe ask about your business, I would love to do that. So I just, I'm always into growing, and this has been, I've been this way ever since I was really young, and then maybe it's because of how I was raised by my mother, who went for a PhD, and she was in economics, and she worked at Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, and she got this award. It was sort of equal to like a Nobel Peace Prize type award, but for NASA. So I was raised by her, but I have a very good relationship with my father, and he was a CEO of a big company. So I was raised by very high-level type A personality people. So, but this is where I'm happiest, and I've tried not to be so type A. I'm not happy not being a type A person. So, Jim, listen to Chris Voss' book, Never Split the Difference. Love that book. Unbelievable. In fact, thanks for bringing that up, Jim. I have a morning call with all of my agents at 8 a.m. Monday through Friday, and we were talking about that book. So he was on a podcast, and a lot of times when I'm listening to a great podcast, I will share it with my agents, with my sales partners. And we were talking about, what a motivator he is, because he was oh my gosh, my wipers are going off, a negotiator, like with, if you could help me out, but with, witnesses, or with police or whatever. He was, getting people out of, when they were holding people hostage and all that. So the biggest challenge was with the Audible book, I found, was just, staying on, because there's really good information. It may read better than the Audible, I think, just because of the narration, but incredible information on that one. So I test one of you to see if there's a book I haven't listened to, because I probably go through one to 2 books a week while I'm driving and stuff, but I only outline maybe 1 book a week. So I really challenge you all. Tell me a book I haven't read, because I would love to know that. And I'm not saying that I'm like the one that the know-it-all. Maybe I do sound like that, but I love books. I am a huge book lover, and especially when it comes to self-improvement. So gosh, I would love to connect with anyone who is really into books as well as me. So please, I know I'm at my maximum with friends, but my assistant is going to go through and take away some of the friends that haven't connected with me in a long time. And because in the very beginning of Facebook, I just friended everyone. So if I accidentally, not me, but my assistant defriends you, just let me know, because she probably didn't know. So just want to let you know. So anyway, thank you so much, everyone. You are so awesome. Let me just see if there's a couple of real great points from the Miracle Morning that you might get a lot out of. So the first thought in the morning is generally as a result of the last thought in the evening. I remember a couple of days ago I said the last thought in the morning. I actually turned it around, so I'm glad I'm changing it. It's what you think about when you go to bed at night. It's many times is what you think about when you wake up. So and I was saying that sometimes I don't listen to these nonfiction books when I'm going to sleep, because otherwise I would never be able to get to sleep. That's when I listen to the fun fiction books or an autobiography. Like I have been listening to Elon Musk's autobiography, and wow, what a type A personality he is. And so I would recommend try to listen to something positive. And studies have shown, and I don't want, and I write down what studies they are, but when I'm in front of you, I don't have the exact study, so please don't get upset with me. But some studies have shown that, it doesn't matter. Like, you could say, okay, I have to have 8 hours of sleep a night. I have to have 7 hours of sleep a night, or I have to have 9 hours of sleep a night. What's more important than that is what intention you put out before you go to sleep. If you say, if you really put an intention out there that I am going to wake up feeling refreshed and, exuberant, and then when you wake up, you even put in your mind, when you wake up, I am exuberant, I'm refreshed, you're going to feel that way. But because they did some studies with some people, and I could keep going on and on. They did some studies where they tested someone with like 100 people going to sleep at for 6 hours a night, and then for like 6.5 hours a night, then 7 hours a night, then 7.5 hours a night, 8 hours a night. You get the drift. And they had them test out, saying motivational things before going to bed and then waking up. And then the people that said the motivational things before going to bed, and I think they said motivational things like, I'm going to be restful, I'm going to be excited and energetic when I wake up, and they did that for like 2 minutes before going to sleep, or maybe they did it for a little bit longer than that. They always felt energetic when they woke up, even when it was like 6 hours of sleep. Now, maybe that didn't last long. Maybe they felt exhausted later on in the day. I don't know. But the ones that did not do the affirmations, and then they did the 6 hours, the 6.5 hours and all that, they never felt rested. Oh, and they also psyched them out. So they said, do negative affirmations before you, well, they're not really affirmations, but just say think negative thoughts, say them out loud before you go to sleep. And these people, they were a part of a study. So I think it's really important, just like I think people who are spiritual, religious, praying is really important. I think that's awesome to do before you go to sleep. Whatever it is that will put you in a really good frame of mind before you go to bed is amazing. Like, just don't fight with someone before you go to sleep. There is that saying, make up before you go to bed. So I truly believe in that as well. So anyway, I can go on and on and on. This is my favorite subject, is about motivation and what drives people to do the things they do. So I could go, I could spend 2 hours talking about, because of all the books I've read. But if you want to connect with me and exchange like what books you like to read, and please, if you're not a friend if you can't be friended by me just yet because I'm at my maximum, just instant message me or whatever, or at least follow me in the meantime, and then I'll be clearing up to make room, because I'm at my maximum, but it's not going to be for very long. And I just really hope that all of you have an amazing Sunday, a great week. I'll still do a couple of live videos this week, and thanks, Keith, for your kudos. And even though it's rainy here, I'm not sure where all of you are at. I love the rain, because in California we don't get a lot of rain, especially not in March. So I'm going to enjoy today, even though I had to cancel a lot of showings. I had like 6 showings. I had to cancel them all because they're all panoramic ocean view properties, and they don't look good when it's raining. So anyway, have a great day, and I will look forward to talking to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.